Fight on, Heisman Trust. You did the right thing.
You are Locked On Trojans, your daily podcast on the USC Trojans. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Fight on, everyone. I'm your host, Mark Holkin, and thank you for making Locked On USC part of the Locked On Network, your first listen every day. Whether you're watching this episode on YouTube or wherever you want to download your podcast, this episode is always free. Locked On USC is always free. I always want you to remember that. Hey, real quick, I'm going to get into a full episode later, but announcement, I guess, Reggie Bush, USC, we're getting the Heisman back. Did you hear? Wow. Just like Kyle Ford, the Heisman Trophy coming back. Amazing. I don't know what happened, but I guess the Heisman Trust woke up like me. My phone was blowing up. And look at it. It's like Reggie Bush getting his Heisman Trophy back. Like, cool. Let's talk about that, folks. So I don't know. Maybe the Heisman Trust took the line from Kyle Ford. Says, "My bad. I was tripping. We apologize." I guess it's better late than never, right? Maybe these guys, maybe the NCAA will get their act together. I don't know. It's a great day to be a Trojan. Today, extra special. Like I said, what's a better way to wake up? Phone blows up. Reggie's getting his Heisman back. I'm going to read you the official statement from the Heisman Trust in a second, but the Heisman Trust did the right thing. They're giving Reggie Bush, they're giving USC back what's rightfully theirs. 14 years later, okay? It's been 14 years since that thing was taken away. It was an egregious error. Heisman Trust said, you know what? We've heard all the noise. We've listened to our constituents, including Heisman Trophy Award winners. We're going to do the right thing. Maybe the NCAA will start doing that here soon. Because right now, they're the only ones holding out. Yeah, they're the only ones. Still no statement from them. But here's the statement from the Heisman Trust. We are thrilled to welcome Reggie Bush back to the Heisman family in recognition of his collegiate accomplishments. That's from Michael Comerford, president of the Heisman Trophy Trust. We considered the enormous changes in college athletics over the last several years and deciding that now is the right time to reinstate the trophy for Reggie. We are so happy to welcome him back, end quote. A 2023 inductee into the College Football Hall of Fame, Bush had a legendary career at the University of Southern California and an electrifying 2005 season, amassing more than 2,000 yards from scrimmage, scoring 18 touchdowns. He received 784 first-place votes during the 2005 Heisman Trophy campaign, the fifth most in Heisman Trophy history, while leading USC to a national title berth. Yes, they were going for a three-peat that year. As part of the announcement, the Heisman Trust has returned the trophy to Bush and the replica to USC. Bush will be invited to all future Heisman Trophy ceremonies, starting with the 90th Heisman Trophy ceremony this fall. The Trust's decision to reinstate the trophy follows a deliberate process in which it closely monitored the enormous changes in the college football landscape, including the Supreme Court's 2021 decision, which questioned the legality of the NCAA's amateurism model and opened the door to student-athlete compensation. The ability of college football players to be paid for their name, image, and likeness, NIL, and the NCAA's recent proposal to remove the cap on educational-related payments, in other words, recognizing the compensation for student-athletes is an accepted practice and appears here to stay. These fundamental changes in college athletics led to the Trust to decide that now is the right time to return the trophy to Bush, who unquestionably was the most outstanding college football player of 2005. All right, My work here is done. USC is now, they can officially claim their 8 Heisman trophies. You know what that means? They have the most of anybody in college football. That's one more than Ohio State. That's one more than Oklahoma. That's one more than Notre Dame. USC has always had these 8, but they're doing it the right way. They're playing by the rules. I threw up finger quotes for some of you who are listening, not watching. The next time I get back into Heritage Hall, I want to see 8 trophies. Okay, you've got a week. Get it done. There's been a lot of groundswell for this to happen. Look, you know me. I was talking about this behind the scenes for a long time. Let me put this up again. See this? That billboard? I took a picture of that driving on the 405 in 2023, July of 2023 to be more specific. So again, this is something I've been yammering about for quite a long time, longer than July of 2023. I've been yelling about this ever since this injustice came down. That's how close this is to my heart. So behind the scenes, you had players like Johnny Manziel, who openly admitted to breaking the rules. And again, NIL is now part of the landscape. Remember, that's what they came after Reggie Bush and his family for getting paid, not to come to USC, for his dad and some other people trying to start a marketing advertising agency to make money off of Reggie Bush's name, image, and likeness. They wanted him to leave USC so they can make even more money when he got to the NFL. Isn't that what this is all about today in college football? It was a sham. It should have never happened. I mean, Todd McNair, who they tried to say this was all about, he was the linchpin. He won his day in court. The NCAA lost. And here we are today. 14 years later, the NCAA is still silent. Bunch of hypocritical Delta Bravos. That's the best way I can put it. Think about all those lost scholarships that USC had to endure. All those student athletes that never got to experience their dream of coming to USC. 30 of them. All those players who played for USC and put their bodies in physical harm because there wasn't enough people on the roster. The NCAA did that. All that wasted money, those days in court, for nothing. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a segment on this on the next full episode of Locked on USC. I know I'm angry right now. I got to get it out of my system. But today we should be celebrating. Reggie Bush is getting his Heisman back. USC is getting their Heisman back. You know what that means? A lot of good stuff. Hopefully we're going to see Reggie Bush hanging around at practice. The recruits are going to be able to go up to him and, gawk and go, that's Reggie Bush in person. The Coliseum should be electric. You know what? They're not just going to be putting out Caleb Williams' Heisman Trophy banner up there in the peristyle. Told you last year on Locked on USC, that was the plan. I don't know what they were waiting for. Hey, Jen Cohen, boom. Great job. Fight on. Yeah. I told you, you make this happen, you're going to have a lot of latitude. You're going to have some mistakes you can put in your back pocket. Good job. Happy. Like I said, Coliseum should be electric. Cannot wait to see Reggie Bush leading the team out of that tunnel. And it better be with Eminem's One Time playing in the background. Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush. Oh, Mike Williams is back. They're getting the band back together. Starting to get that vibe. Feels good, doesn't it? All right. For that next episode of Locked on USC, let's celebrate. Fight on. 8 Heisman trophies at USC.